gentlemen, it's about to go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts, RGX, RateWrestle, and Frozzy, representing Honor Club, and you're watching HCW.
Hello and welcome to the HCW News and Award Show. My name is RGX, your host as always, flanked with Frozzy and RateWrestle. How are you doing, guys?
All good, mate. All good. Living the high life. Got a free house for 10 days, so just
Nice.
doing what I want to do, sitting around in my pants and eating what I want.
The dream.
It is.
How about yourself, Rate?
Yeah, I'm decent. Yeah, I'm still trying to buy this house, and the mortgage is taking forever, and it's stressing me the hell out. But everything else is pretty much fine at the moment. Yeah, and I'm sunburnt still. Like that's horrific. Look at it.
Nice.
Oh, it's starting to peel now.
Yeah, I just noticed it's all horrible. You get to sit in the cricket for 9 hours.
Oh Christ! Sitting watching the cricket for 9 hours.
I have no hatred about the cricket.
Just speaking to a Scotsman about cricket. Not going to get much interaction with me on that.
You've got a team.
Not
No,
a particularly good one.
Yeah,
But you've got a
got-
team.
It's just a hobby to them. It's not professional.
Anyway, I should probably move past cricket. People are tuning out as we speak.
Yeah,
Might be
The
getting
cricket
actual
podcast.
crickets.
yeah.
So, obviously, a fair amount of news last week that we'll just kind of expand on and give updates here. We did cover the Sasha Banks and Naomi stuff in our Raw review from last Thursday, but there has been more that has come out since. Biteful Select and Genre SAP have reported, along with multiple other sources, including Wrestle Votes and Brian Alvarez, that both Sasha and Naomi's contracts are actually coming up in the next few months. And allegedly, Naomi is using this as some sort of contract negotiation tool. I don't think that's going to work out for her, especially given that they've removed all mention of them whatsoever from the website. They've taken down all their merch. They've removed them from the roster pages. And they doubled down on the comments made on Raw, on SmackDown when they announced the tournament that'll contain all one team. Unless expand it out to the NXT.
Can have Priest and Ripley as a team. That's fine.
Very weird situation. There was also reports that there was a lot of heat from them backstage regarding timing of which they did it. I believe one of the sources said being upset with creative is fine, making a point of it to management is fine, but even in the middle of a show is not fine, or the start of a show. Basically, after it goes on the air, it's out of order. But yeah, have you guys heard anything else on that, or are you?
No, I'm just more shocked that Naomi thinks that this is a bargaining tool to get a better contract.
Oh, it's gonna...
Yeah, I know exactly. I know what I'll do. I'll get a better contract. I'm in the last few months. I'll just go home. That's what I'm gonna do.
Look, she's not even like that big up on the card either, so I can understand if it was like someone like a Lesnar or someone walking off, then you'd be oh crap. But Naomi walking out and then going, I'm going to get a better contract. WWE,
She's one of them. She's one of them. If she appeared on AEW, it wouldn't make
exactly
any sort
that's
of
what I was
impact.
about to say. Yeah, it would just be the first night. Oh look, Naomi or whatever
Yeah.
she'll be called in like AEW Trinity. I'm guessing is her real name. And then like a week later, she'll just be Tony Storm.
The thing is, if you put Trinity up in a Titantron before she comes out, you're going to expect Trinity from TNA, at least I would. But yeah, obviously you weren't on the show with us when we discussed it last Thursday. What's your thoughts on it in general, Ray?
Like in general, like, we discussed it in the chat, and I was going like, I don't like. They don't have it bad. Like what they're moaning about, they don't have it bad. Like the creative's not great on the tag team division, but they've been booked so strong, and like to just walk out in the middle of a show, and it's kind of like they're not big enough stars. Like Sasha Banks, big-ish, but like I don't think it'll be that much of a loss if she left WWE. Now I don't think WWE care as much anymore about people like that. And like all that happen is she'll go to AEW, she'll be important for 3 weeks, and then she'll be in the middle ground again.
Yeah. Honestly, any of the women leaving WWE now, I wouldn't be looking at AEW as the place to go to. I'd be looking at Impact, quite honestly.
Yeah, look at Peraza. Yeah, she's shining on Impact.
Peraza, Chelsea Green, the Inspiration / Iconics when
When they were there, yeah.
And
I don't.
historically, TNA and Impact has always been, as far as mainstream US companies, well, TNA had their moment in mainstream, they're close to it anyway.
Yeah.
Their women's / knockouts division has always been like the standard. It's only in the past couple of years that WWE have really caught up to that. But yeah. But speaking of women's divisions and the pioneer and trailblazer, if you listen to the interviews, the one that invented the women's revolution, Stephanie McMahon, has decided to take a step back from WWE, claiming that she just wants to take some time for her family, and it's not a permanent step back, but she has kind of handed over control of her duties to Nick Khan. I think I'll bring up the actual tweet.
It was very strange that Triple H has now gone back full time and she's took time out to spend time with her family.
Yeah.
I was like, surely you'd have done this like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's been widely reported as well that this was entirely Steph's choice. I know there's a lot of fans of the show Succession and many conspiracy theories going on about Nick Khan slowly taking out the McMahon family. But I don't think this is the case here. A lot of people were supposedly blindsided by this, but apparently it had been something that had been in the works for a while, according to Big Dave. And Wade Keller's also saying that we wouldn't expect the reasons for Steph stepping away to come out, but the implication is that there are reasons, but it's not a public scandal thing. It's just something further than we'll probably ever get to know, unless WWE is sold one day and someone writes an autobiography. It could just be the fact that Triple H's health, although he's back at work, he might want to spend more time with the girls. Because could all just be family stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speculation in it. Like you said, the conspiracy theories, you get them with any story, so they know what the reasons are, and if it makes them happy, then it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, what about yourself? Is there any kind of theories that you're subscribing to, or are you happy to
like I went with a theory ages ago with I heard it that obviously Vince McMahon's selling the company or trying to get someone in charge of the company, and he doesn't really want anyone like Triple H, Stephanie, or Shane to run it. And he's always preferring Nick Khan to do it now, and it seems to be progressing that way anyway. So get someone like a Disney to buy it, and then Nick Khan to run it as like a CEO. That's what I've heard. I think that like What Culture and stuff mentioned that.
Yeah, I think that was always the kind of intent, especially given these comments on the Pat McAfee show. I say he playing the pronoun game. Vince McMahon's comments on the Pat McAfee show about he's not passing the company on to Stephanie or Shane. And Triple H, I don't think he's healthy enough to take on that responsibility again. So it does look like man's made peace with the fact that although he wants to live forever and he'll probably be in charge of WWE until he's carted off, he is preparing the company for that eventuality.
Life after Vince.
Yeah. That's the kind of major news this week. Is there anything else big that you guys want to discuss?
I've got nothing that comes to the front of my mind when I've looked at stuff. It's just been these two stories, really, for me.
There is one other thing. The former member of the MSK, Zachary Wentz, or Wesley, as he was known in NXT, has issued a public apology, basically stating that when the picture was taken in 2015, he was a different person back then. He was very ignorant on the Holocaust and the plight of the Jewish people, and he appreciates how offensive that is. He took a trip to the Holocaust Museum at Auschwitz to educate himself on it, and seems genuinely looking to put it behind him. It's not one of those fake apologies. He actually addresses it head on, saying he's sorry, not fixed it, but like learned from it and wants to move on from it. It's not one of those, oh, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. Apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like he's done it, but he's also sounding like he's laying it on thick. Like Vic, like Vizzy, like the camp lead stuff like. It just seems like he's going overboard with it. Like, apologising has been a bit like that. Yeah.
There was.
I feel like you're going to get judged either way with an apology like that. When you've done something like that, you're either not apologising enough or you're going overboard. There's no what's the right way to apologise.
There was tweets surrounding it as well, claiming that Kimberly, his ex, who made the allegations, always held this picture over him. So he was aware of the picture's existence, which is interesting.
Why did he send it? That's the question. Who goes, you know what? You want to see this picture of this dodgy thing I'm doing?
It depends when did he send it? It's not like he sent it like 3 weeks.
2015, I think.
Yeah, so it's one of them where in 2015 he probably doesn't think that this is even going to matter in the rest of his life, and it turns out that it now does. So
yeah, not good.
Yeah, still putting pictures of yourself as Hitler's. Oh, with the Hitler stash, isn't?
Yeah.
Especially even doing the salute, yeah.
Yeah. It's all the news for this week anyway, so we'll get on to the RateWrestle Awards. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Tag Team and Stable of the Year.
Yeah, it's definitely that, and it's took 2 weeks to get to this, so everyone's really excited. And it may be something we can actually discuss this week because there's a lot more teams we'll be familiar with. So yeah, with the Tag Team Stable of the Year, I had to kind of change the qualification. So you had to wrestle in a year 5 matches, which is insane to think about. But teams don't wrestle as teams anymore. Like they wrestle like the Young Bucks will team with Adam Cole. They won't team as just the Young Bucks. It's silly. So I've had to because otherwise I did it as the 10 which I do normally, and only 12 teams qualified, which is silly for a whole year. and like 10 of them were like New Japan factions. Like, it's kind of like, but yeah, so we'll go ahead with that. So as usual, we'll go through the 50 and 20 quite quickly, and then we'll discuss a bit about the 10. If there's anyone that's missing, obviously pipe up. So we'll start off with number 50 was Rich Swann and Willie Mack. So they teamed a few times in 2018, like as a proper tag team, but they were still around a bit last year, and they just overall qualified. This was followed by number 49, the Factory of AEW, that big tag faction going on there. Then at number 48, my favourite team, the Hardy Family Office. They made the scene. Number 47 was the Dirty Dogs. Then number 46 was Alpha Academy. Number 45 was the Acclaimed. Alpha Academy. Yes. Why are you questioning this?
Because they've been multiple time tag champions in there.
Oh yeah, but I've only seen them 8 times.
Oh, right.
Because this was probably before and when I wasn't forced to watch Raw every week. So like, this time there'll probably be a lot more tag teams because Raw and SmackDown are watching every week, so I get to see the Street Profits 50 times a year. But yeah, so this was followed up by the Acclaimed at number 44, 45. Obviously, as I said, with these, this is their match ratings as well, so it's not like just what they've done in the year. So they could have tag team matches, championship matches, but they all could be dross. But yeah, 45 was the Acclaimed, and number 44 was the Bullet Club. Number 43 is Suzuki-gun. Number 42, Legado del Fantasma. A more recent team at number 41, they're kind of recent, like they only came together last year, RK Bro. So they got in at number 41. Number 40, they were picked by the team I've just mentioned, the Street Profits. That was followed by at number 39, the New Day. Number 38 was Darby Allin and Sting. What a tag team! Wow. Like all their matches have been pretty decent. I'll be honest. I can't disagree. They've had decent matchups. Number 37 was Funky Express.
Bumps and Stings there is what you're telling me makes a good team.
Hold on.
He jumps off really high stuff.
Yeah, he jumps off and does cross bodies, I think.
Christ.
And also, you got to think they're the team, but it's probably who they're facing as well that probably boosts their ratings up each week.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way they're better.
So it's a very flawed system, but we're going on. 36 was the Good Brothers. 35 was the United Empire, but it was the version of the Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb as the tag team for them. Number 34 was House of Torture, which is a spin-off from the Bullet Club. Number 33, the UK tag team, the Grizzled Young Vets.
Nice.
So yeah, like I've put I'm not going to go through all of it, but like I've put like last year's ratings and the highest ratings. So like the highest they've ever got was 11th in my tournament in the awards. But so they've kind of fell off a bit, but they've disappeared. Like I don't even think they're on NXT UK at the moment.
Yeah, they've not done much since the Dusty Classic.
Yeah. Number 32, you got the Dark Order, and number 31, Los Perros del Mar de Japón. Which is a Noah version. They've got Aita and people like that, and Super Crazy, the ECW wrestlers in it, if you remember him.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus wept. He's just appeared out of nowhere. Then you've got number 30, which was Imperium, but that's Eichner and Bartel. 29, Chaos. 28th is Io Shirai and Zoe Starks, who were a pretty decent tag team, and that just fell off just completely. Like their matches were pretty good at the time. Number 27, The Inner Circle, when that was a thing. Number 26, Los Ingobernables de Japón, so the Naito faction. Number 25, so last year's winners is come up at number 25, which were Queen's Quest, which is a Stardom Josie tag team, faction. Number 23, number 24, the Usos. 23, the team of Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley.
Oh, come on.
How many times did they tag together?
I saw them tag 5 times, so they qualified. I'm telling you, it's because of it.
And they're above the Usos, man, who are being penalised because they've had about 500 more matches than them.
I saw 9 Uso matches last year. That helps.
Wow.
So it's not much like different. Like to give you a difference, they were rated 2.94, the Usos, and Moxley was rated 2.95. So there's like a 0.1 in it. So there's not like a dramatic gap. 22 was Stinger. 21 was Odio Tai, another Stardom faction, followed by another Stardom faction, Stars at 20. Then we've got Red, which is RED from Dragon Gate at number 7. They were famous. They were Pac's faction when he was there. At number 18, and we'll never see them again, MSK, until Xavier disappears. But he seems to be getting matches. So they seem to be carrying on with him, which is pretty cool. Number 17, the faction, the team of Ciampa and Thatcher. When they were in NXT, after the build-up of their rivalry, and they actually had some really good matches together as a tag team.
Dads.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, they were wrong for a decent time because they're. Oh no, actually no, their highest rating was that. I was for looking at the highest rating, but yeah, so they're 17. They've had 5 matches. They qualify. This is. If people had more tag team matches, there'll be less teams like this on there. Made-up teams that have probably wrestled a few times together. Number 16 was Sugiura Goon, who's a Noah faction with Takeshi Sugiura. Then number 15, Jurassic Express. I was waiting for a Frozzy comment, but he seems to be fine with that.
No, yeah, well, they have a lot of matches. A lot of them are quite good, so I'm not going to complain.
Do you know what's insane? I watch Dynamite every week. So I watch Dynamite. I wasn't forced to watch Dynamite. I actually watched it and the pay-per-views. And Jurassic Express only had 9 matches that I saw as a tag team.
They do a lot of 6-mans and stuff, don't they?
It's insane, isn't it? It's like tag team champs and stuff like that. I've been tag team champs for 3 months or whatever by now. And yeah, in a whole year, they've had 9 tag matches on. I'm not watching YouTube. But yeah, so 9 tag team matches, Jurassic Express. Followed up by number 14 was Donna Del Mondo, another Stardom faction. That's got Sherry and Julia in. Number 13, Pretty Deadly, the NXT UK team. So I saw a lot of them on NXT UK. I only saw a couple of matches of them on the main brand. I think I saw one that they qualified for. Number 12, which will be a spanner in the works, which you're going to love it, the Elite. So that's the faction of Adam Cole, Omega, Young Bucks, whatever way they sway. But like, then there's like 55 branches of the faction now. You have to kind of take in. So Undisputed Elite, Super Elite.
It's like Bullet Club, to be fair.
Yeah. So that version, I believe, is the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Cole. When it was that, so basically when Omega's involved, it's just the Elite. Number 11 was Stinger, which is the Hayata and Ogawa from Noah. Number 10, 37 Kamina, which is a faction from DDT that has Mao in it, if you've heard of Mao. And Shun Katsuyama. Mao teams with Mike Bailey a lot, Speedball.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, the Pinnacle. So they picked the Inner Circle to get a bit higher up there. Number 8, FTR. So they've come in at 8 this year. Yeah, I feel like if this was an extra month, they would be a lot higher. I think they only kicked into gear the last few months.
Right, when you're putting Pinnacle and FTR in there, I take it you have Bucks and Elite in there. Yeah,
so yeah, how it works is if they're calling themselves Pinnacle, but it's only Dax and Cash fighting, I'll call them FTR. I'm not. It's the same with Inner Circle. When it was Santana Ortiz, I classed them as the tag team. So, yeah, so I'm mixing, because otherwise it would just make no sense, and then you'll miss tag teams that actually tag team together normally, but because they're under the Inner Circle banner, they're classed as the faction. So unless they're a proper tag team, like I said with Imperium, I classed it as Zeitner and Bartel rather than with Walter, because they only had like 2 matches with Walter or something like that. But yeah, FTR saw 13 matches off, so once again, like for a whole year of like a team that's a proper tag team, you know, it's insane. Number 7 was Congo, which is a Noah faction. It's probably their better faction around at the moment. Number 6, I don't know if you've heard of the Sunshine Machine. It's the team of TK Cooper and Chuck Mambo.
Right, I recognise the name Chuck Mambo.
Yeah, Chuck Mambo's been around like Riptide. He was in Progress a lot. He might have appeared in ICW at some point. He's basically his gimmicks. He's like a surfer.
Is that your beach ball deathmatch guy?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Sunshine
Johnny
Machine. Not that way. But yeah, they had really good matches. Like I only saw most of their matches this year as well. But like all of them are really decent because Independent UK they kind of pushed the boat with them. So that's probably why they've rated so high on there. Number 5 is the M's Alliance. So M's Alliance is a Noah faction, which is basically everyone that's got an M in their name. So you've got like Keiji Muto, Masato Tanaka, Funaki, I can't remember his name, not that Funaki. Naomichi Marufuji as well. So it's just an overpowered team. So you've got Muta and Marufuji, and it's just basically all the older guys from it. Then at number 4 was 440. So they're more of an independent team in GCW. Their leader's Ricky Shane Page, if you've heard of him. He's been around for a while, and there's a few of like the Ohio guys. You've got Eric Ryan, Atticus Kogar is a really good deathmatch guy. Eric Ryan and Gregory Irons. And then the top 3. So number 3, Lucha Bros. So they had a good year. Like they had a high-rated tag team match with the Young Bucks. Once again, because Phoenix was injured and they did a lot of stuff with the Death Triangle, I only saw 7 matches of the Lucha Bros. But they rated quite high on my listing. Number 2 was the Young Bucks. So once again, like Young Bucks is their biggest team in AEW, and they only had like 11 matches. Like to sum it up, the highest amount of matches I saw from a team was Bullet Club with 18, and that's because they're a faction. There's like 4 matches will be Bullet Club matches on one night.
So when you say Bullet Club, do you mean the Gorillas, or do you mean?
So if Gorillas are teaming with someone else in Bullet Club, I'll call them Bullet Club. But if it's just the Gorillas, I'll call them the Gorillas of Destiny. Yeah, it's so basically any faction in Bullet Club when it's like Phantasmo and the Gorillas tagging, or vice versa. But yeah, so 18 matches of just like faction matches is the highest I've seen this year, and I watch a lot of wrestling, so that's stupid. Like, tag team wrestling isn't what it is anymore. But yeah, the Young Bucks came in at number 2. I saw 11 matches. They were 6th last year, so they've rose a bit because they've done a bit more, because they were with the Elite a lot of stuff last year and had the rivalry with Cody Rhodes. Not Cody Rhodes. Was it the Inner Circle? Yeah, they had the rivalry at the start, didn't they, with the Inner Circle when it was going to Blood and Guts. And then my tag team of the year were the Briscoe brothers. They had some banging matches in the last year or so. Like they've had a good match this month as well, which wouldn't have counted towards it, but like they're really on a high at the moment. It's just gutting that AEW don't want them. Like hopefully they go on to Ring of Honor, like as properly like on Ring of Honor we get set up, but just AEW don't want them on their TV.
Did they have the match with FTR? Will that qualify for next year?
I think that was the end of that. I think that was in April.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
look.
I was say, because if it was for next year's awards, they've already won.
I'm just surprised that they've not signed with TNA, because essentially their contracts weren't picked up. They're free agents.
Yeah, the tag team champs are TNA, so they've won the titles there. Yes, they've been tag team champs for 17 days. Let me have a look. FTR. Oh, fucking, I can't do it.
I feel like you probably reviewed that show, right?
1st of April. Yeah, that was before I did the reviews. Yeah, 1st of April, so they did qualify for this. Anything past May, they wouldn't have.
Right.
But yeah, so that was the end of the tag team of the year. So there's like a few tag teams that are missing just because they don't wrestle enough. So, like for example, Santana and Ortiz, like a big tag team, like they're not on there. I'm trying to think of the tag team division in AEW in general who's missing. I think they're all randomly on there.
Think of tag teams that are just missing.
Yeah, like it's just silly. Like I don't understand, but yeah, but the Briscoes definitely deserve to win it. Like matches wise, they've had great matches this year. My favourites to win it next year are the Judgment Day. Telling you now.
You're relying on them to work with talent that can give them good matches, then.
Yeah.
But you'll be watching week to week as well, so you'll be seeing a lot more tag team matches than you were.
don't know, because the 4 tag teams they have are probably on the list, if you think about it. The Usos, the Street Profits, RK Bro, and flipping Dirty Dogs. There's nothing new.
The Dirty Dogs have kind of disappeared a little bit.
Yeah, there was that news with Bobby Roode that he did a house show this week and he's returned as the glorious Bobby Roode as well. Like he came out to his old theme and everything.
Nice, I love that theme.
Yeah, so
If that doesn't put you in a good mood, there's something
He'll
wrong.
be back in NXT.
Because Ziggler's came out in favour of Banks and Naomi, and he. In the I read some news about it, so I don't know if they were going to bin Ziggler for a bit because of it.
I don't think Ziggler cares.
Oh, he's been trying to leave for years, hasn't he? And then just
He's got enough stuff that he can do that he'd be alright.
Yeah, every time his contract runs out, he's quite happily away. He gets a phone call saying come back for a short run and ends up back for 3 years again.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah, a short run. It's a percentage of his career. It's a short run if you think about it. But yeah, so that was the end of the. That was the end of the tag team stable of the year. I said it was just like there's some decent tag teams on there, but there's also a lot where it's just they've qualified because there's no one else, because no one tag teams anymore. But yeah, so next week will be the female wrestlers of the year, and that will be Joshi Pride. That's what it's going to be.
I can't wait for the baddies to qualify next year.
I think they've had one match so far, haven't they? That's all I can think of. The bloody baddies.
They're going to have had 5 by this time next year, mate.
They're
going to break.
They've already had 2.
Good grief. The baddies. Oh, no.
Guess what you're watching this week?
So, female of the year next week, then, and then we finish up the award season with men of the year in 2 weeks.
Not the tag team, no. Male of the year, not men of the year. They didn't qualify either, if that helps. But yeah, female of the year next week, and then male of the year to round it off, and then I'm done speaking for a whole year.
Yeah, then the onus is on myself for my little project I've got coming up, which I will be reaching out to our Discord members because I have a nice little idea.
Nice. This is new.
Well, we've discussed that a little bit in chat, but I'll take you guys through it once I've firmed up a couple more details. Just about 3 weeks. Just a reminder to everyone, it does help the show out a lot if you can hit the like button, subscribe, share it among your friends. Also give our socials a little follow. All of our Twitter handles are down in the description, and the show's Twitter handle is @honor_club. That's honor with a U because we are British.
I'm proud.
Indeed.
Hey up, Funaki.
Indeed.
Sure. I was going to do that when you brought up Funaki earlier.
Yeah. Mate, I had to Google it. I couldn't remember what his catchphrase was, and I really wanted to say it.
SmackDown's #1 pronouncer. That's the one I remember.
So, what, if anything, do you have to add at the end here, guys?
Indeed.
Yeah, not a lot, really. There's just like and subscribe, as has already been asked, and keep following, because there's going to be a lot more to come.
Indeed. Right, well, that's our show, everybody. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.